ENCOR Section 26 Summary Challenge, Enterprise Network Security Architecture. Which two statements is correct concerning phishing? Okay, which two statements are correct concerning phishing? Phishing is a common social engineering technique, and this is correct. Phishing is not usually common in social media, but more for marketing and advertising. It is also common in social media. Phishing email is usually a legitimate email sent from a large legitimate organization. This is quite opposite to that. The goal is to provide the consumer with legitimate choices for products and services. Not sure what legitimate means. Is it legitimate? But this is not it, probably. The goal is to get the victim to enter personal information. Yes, that's pretty much what phishing is trying to get the personal or the other valuable information from the user. What are two deployment modes for VPNs? Okay, this is easy. They are site-to-site VPNs and remote access. And site-to-site is between different branches of the organization, or more commonly even between a branch and the central office. And remote access is between the central office or the organization network and individual user, like a home office, for example. Which two devices are considered endpoints? Okay, so routers are not endpoints. Laptops are. Switches are intermediate network devices. Mobile devices are also endpoints. Okay, and firewalls are not endpoints. They are network devices. Which three statements are true about firewalls? Okay, if a system in a security zone is compromised, a firewall can help to contain the attack within that zone. Yes, it can. Yeah, I think that's one thing which can be done by a firewall. A firewall can prevent undesired access to a network security zone. This is also correct, right? Because we can configure a firewall to not let the specific traffic to a specific network zone in. Modern firewalls provide a complete network security solution. No, there is no anything providing complete network security solution, or not even any combination of tools or services which would make network completely secure. Firewalls typically provide protection between and within network security zones. Yes, and I think typically provide protection between and within network security zones. Oh no, it's actually more commonly it's just providing protection between security zones. It does not provide protection. It doesn't filter traffic within security zones, which negates this whole option, I guess. So this is not the correct answer here. A firewall can introduce a performance bottleneck. Yeah, of course. Why not? Because traffic filtering is a resource demanding task. And because of that, firewall may become the bottleneck in the network. A firewall can act as an accelerator for business critical data. No, firewall doesn't do that. What makes a firewall a next generation firewall? Okay, I think in the course they said that next generation firewall terminology is not really set in stone yet, or maybe never set in stone, and different vendors call different things next generation firewalls. But basically it's a firewall which is enriched with some additional features, and this feature set will be depending on the vendor. So let's see which options we have. When used as a primary path between client and server, can prevent the server from seeing the connection from the client. This is some kind of nonsense. Server must see connection from the client, right? Ability to contain an attack within the security zone where the attack occurred. Probably, Yeah, it could be one thing, right? One additional feature which next generation firewalls can do, but there may be even better options. So let's see. Additional features such as context awareness and advanced malware protection. This is much better, right? So context awareness and advanced malware protection. These are just two examples of two additional features, important ones, which can be applied or be added to a firewall, and then I guess the overall solution may be called the next generation firewall. I like this option way more than the previous one. I think previous one would apply to a normal previous generation firewall as well. Ability to handle protocols that use dynamically negotiated connections. A normal firewall can do this as well. What is the major difference between named ACLs and DACLs? And D here stands for downloadable ACLs. Okay, as far as I recall, named ACLs, they are stored in the network access device, so which could be a switch or wireless LAN controller, for example, and they just have multiple different name ACLs. And when user authorizes, the authentication server tells the network access device which of the ACLs to use. Okay, but they are stored locally. With downloadable ACLs, they are stored on the authentication server, and they are the body of the ACL is actually downloaded for each user from the radios, from the server over the radios protocol. Okay, so let's select the best option from here. These ACLs are configured locally on the WLC. Named ACLs are configured on Cisco IS. No, this is opposite actually. The ACLs are configured on Cisco IS. Named ACLs are configured locally on the WLC. Yes, this looks like a correct option. Just to make sure, two other options are the ACLs are configured on Cisco IS. Named ACLs can be configured on Cisco IS or locally on the WLC. Can they be also configured on Cisco IS? I do not recall such configuration. Yeah, well, I guess if they are configured on Cisco IS, they will have to be downloaded to the WLC when the user authorizes, and that makes them downloadable ACLs. Okay, this option I think is the best. What happens when a user first connects to a network in a WebAuth scenario? Okay, they are denied access until they authenticate via 802.1x. No, WebAuth is another alternative way to authenticate and authorize users compared to 802.1x. Their first HTTP or HTTPS request is redirected to a guest authentication portal, and this is the correct answer, right? So whenever they open their browser and type some address in the browser, they are redirected to the web portal, or also called a captive portal, to input their credentials, or maybe just push a button and agree to usage terms and things like that. They're only allowed to access internet web pages. These options are not good. Okay,